Picture a winter evening in what is now southern England, 800,000 years ago. Snow blankets the ground in thick, suffocating layers. The temperature is plunged well below freezing, and the wind howls through valleys carved by advancing glaciers. In this brutal landscape, a small group of human ancestors huddles together in a shallow rock shelter, their breath forming clouds of vapor in the frigid air. Based on what we know of later populations, they likely wore crude garments fashioned from animal hides, their stocky bodies pressed close for warmth. But there is no campfire to ward off the bone-chilling cold, no dancing flames to cook their food or drive away the predators lurking in the darkness. These people, the ancestors of Neanderthals, survived in one of the harshest environments on Earth, without the one tool we consider essential for human survival: fire. How did they endure not just one winter, but hundreds of thousands of them? The answer reveals a story of adaptation so profound, it challenges everything we thought we knew about early human resilience. For decades, archaeologists operated under a simple assumption: humans could not have colonized the frigid regions of Ice Age Europe without mastering fire. Fire meant warmth, protection, cooked food, and a psychological anchor against the terrors of the night. Yet the archaeological record tells a far more unsettling story. The earliest convincing evidence for habitual, controlled use of fire in Europe dates to approximately 300,000 to 400,000 years ago, found at sites like Beech's Pit in England and Schöningen in Germany. At Beech's Pit, researchers discovered scattered pieces of heated flint, bones burned at high temperatures, and individual pockets of previously heated sediments that could only have come from deliberate firemaking. A comprehensive database of 141 potential fireplace sites across Europe, spanning from 1.2 million years ago to 35,000 years ago, reveals a stark pattern: sites with solid evidence of fire control, defined by the presence of charcoal, heated stone artifacts, burned bones, hearths, and heated sediments only become common after 400,000 years ago. Prior to this, over 700,000 years of human occupation in Europe shows virtually no reliable evidence of fire use. The absence of heated materials from long archaeological sequences at sites like Grandolina and Arago, both documenting hominin occupations, over several 100,000 years, is particularly striking. Meanwhile, human presence in Europe extends back over 1 million years, with evidence from Happisburgh in England suggesting that hominins had adapted to the challenging environments of northern latitudes more than 800,000 years ago. This creates an extraordinary puzzle: hundreds of thousands of years in sub-freezing climates without the warming embrace of controlled fire. To understand the magnitude of their achievement, we must first comprehend the world these early humans inhabited. The Pleistocene epoch was characterized by repeated glacial cycles, massive ice sheets that pushed southward to cover much of Europe in frozen wastelands. At maximum glacial extent, approximately 30% of Earth's surface lay buried beneath ice. Beyond the glaciers themselves, a zone of permafrost stretched southward for hundreds of kilometers, creating a landscape where the ground never truly thawed. During the coldest millennia that Neanderthals would ever endure, winter temperatures in northern Europe could reach extreme lows, with some estimates suggesting temperatures well below -20 degrees Celsius during the harshest glacial periods. Even in southern regions, winters regularly saw temperatures that would be life-threatening for unprotected humans. For a naked human in such conditions, death would come swiftly. Modern physiological research suggests that without cultural adaptations, humans can tolerate minimum temperatures of around 10 degrees Celsius. Early humans with their biological adaptations might have pushed that limit somewhat lower, but even with every biological advantage, the gap between tolerance and reality was substantial. Frostbite, hypothermia, and cellular damage from prolonged cold exposure would claim anyone who could not generate or conserve sufficient heat. Yet somehow these early populations not only survived, but thrived, spreading across landscapes that should have been their graves. Evolution had been preparing Neanderthals for this challenge for hundreds of thousands of years, sculpting their very bodies into instruments of thermal efficiency. When complete Neanderthal skeletons were discovered, scientists were struck by their distinctive physiology. These were not the tall, slender frames of modern humans, but compact, powerful builds that seemed deliberately engineered for heat retention. Neanderthals possessed exceptionally stocky bodies, with broad trunks far wider than those of modern humans. Their limbs were noticeably shorter relative to their torso length, a classic adaptation seen in cold climate animals that reduces surface area. Relative to body mass, every square centimeter of exposed skin represents heat loss. And by minimizing extremities while maximizing core volume, Neanderthals created natural insulation systems within their own anatomy. Their body mass was significantly higher than that of similarly sized modern humans, providing greater thermal inertia, the ability to maintain core temperature. Despite external cold, recent genetic discoveries have revealed even more remarkable adaptations hidden in their DNA. The Neanderthal LEPR gene, which regulates fat storage and body heat production, shows striking similarities to that of the woolly mammoth, another creature supremely adapted to Ice Age conditions. This shared molecular characteristic suggests convergent evolution, where unrelated species develop similar solutions to identical environmental pressures. The gene likely enabled Neanderthals to store fat more efficiently and generate heat more effectively than their ancestors or cousins. Perhaps most fascinating is the Neanderthal nasal cavity, long considered paradoxical by researchers. Unlike modern human noses, Neanderthal nasal passages were exceptionally large and complex, with substantial internal surface area. Computational fluid dynamic studies have revealed that this architecture served a critical function: conditioning cold, dry air before it reached the delicate tissues of the lungs. The enlarged nasal cavity could warm incoming air far more efficiently than modern human noses, while also humidifying it to prevent tissue damage. Moreover, Neanderthals could move considerably greater volumes of air through their nasal passages than modern humans or their ancestor Homo heidelbergensis, approximately 50 liters per minute compared to 27 liters per minute in modern humans. This capacity would have supported another crucial adaptation: elevated basal metabolism. Biological adaptations alone could not bridge the thermal gap. Neanderthals needed fuel, and they found it in the most calorie-dense source available: animal flesh and fat. Isotope analysis of Neanderthal remains reveals something remarkable. Their nitrogen isotope signatures match those of apex carnivores, suggesting a diet dominated by animal protein and fat to an extraordinary degree. But this was not simple meat eating. The evidence suggests that if Neanderthal diets resembled those of historically documented northern foragers, a substantial portion of their calories would have come from fat rather than lean protein. Fat provided 9 calories per gram compared to protein's 4, and crucially, it could be metabolized for both energy and heat generation. During winter months, when hunted animals grew lean and protein-heavy meat alone could cause protein poisoning, access to fat reserves meant the difference between life and death. Bone marrow, encased within long bones, remained fatty even when external tissues had been depleted by winter's hardship. Archaeological evidence from sites across Europe reveals systematic fat extraction practices. At one remarkable location, researchers discovered what they termed a fat factory, a dense cluster of marrow-rich bones harvested from at least 172 large animals and transported specifically to this processing site. The bones were heavily fragmented, butchered with systematic precision to extract every possible gram of caloric value, suggesting that Neanderthals developed techniques to extract this precious resource that sustained them through the leanest months. Without fire's warmth in the earliest periods, shelter transformed from mere protection to a thermal lifeline. Neanderthals did not simply occupy caves. They organized them with sophisticated understanding of heat conservation and spatial efficiency. Archaeological excavations at Middle Paleolithic sites reveal careful spatial planning. Deep rock shelters provide natural insulation against wind and moderate temperature fluctuations. While external temperatures might swing wildly between day and night, deep within a cave, temperatures remain relatively stable, hovering near the average annual temperature of the region. For Ice Age Europe, this meant protection from the worst extremes, even if it did not provide actual warmth. Neanderthals organized their living spaces with meticulous care. At cave entrances, they concentrated activities that generated debris: stone tool manufacture, butchering, hide processing. Deeper within, they created living spaces, kept deliberately clear of sharp objects and waste that might attract scavengers. This segregation of space served multiple purposes: keeping dangerous items away from sleeping areas, preventing vermin infiltration, and maintaining organized living conditions. The sleeping areas themselves likely witnessed another crucial survival strategy: social huddling. Multi-generational family groups would sleep in close proximity, sharing body heat through the night. This collective warmth, combined with animal hide bedding and garments, could have created microenvironments within the caves where temperatures, while still harsh, became survivable. No direct evidence of Neanderthal clothing exists from the period before 400,000 years ago. Organic materials simply do not survive that long in the archaeological record. Yet indirect evidence paints a compelling picture: stone scrapers from later Neanderthal sites bear residues consistent with hide processing, suggesting established traditions of working animal skins, stone and bone awls, pointed tools perfect for piercing tough materials. Appear at late Neanderthal sites, suggesting techniques for attaching hides together. The oldest direct evidence of Neanderthal fiber technology comes from southeastern France, a 3-ply cord fragment stuck to a stone tool, dating between 41,000 and 52,000 years ago. But the simple fact that early humans survived in climates where winter temperatures reached extreme lows provides its own evidence. Without clothing, survival would have been impossible. Ethnographic studies of Arctic peoples show that survival in extreme cold requires comprehensive coverage, not just body garments but head coverings, hand protection, and critically footwear. The probability approaches certainty. These early populations wore clothing fashioned from the furs and hides of the animals they hunted. These garments, though we can only infer their existence for the earliest periods, would have represented the difference between life and death. A second skin that held precious body heat against the gnawing cold. Survival in Ice Age. Europe was not an individual endeavor. Recent genetic analysis of Neanderthal remains from Chagirskaya cave in Siberia's Altai Mountains has provided unprecedented insight into their social organization. DNA extracted from remains revealed a close-knit community with identifiable family relationships such as a father-daughter pair. These people lived together as a multi-generational family unit of approximately 10 to 20 individuals. The genetic data revealed something else. Neanderthal communities were patrilocal. Males tended to remain with their birth groups throughout their lives, while females often came from other populations, presumably joining their mates' families. This social structure ensured genetic diversity, while maintaining stable male coalitions. More remarkably, archaeological and fossil evidence shows that Neanderthals cared for their vulnerable members with extraordinary dedication. Skeletal remains reveal individuals who survived significant injuries or illnesses that would have left them temporarily or permanently dependent on others. This level of care reveals sophisticated social bonds and suggests something profound. Neanderthals recognized that survival depended on the collective, not the individual. Knowledge transmission became crucial in this context. Understanding which animal fats provided the most calories, how to process hides effectively, where to find shelter. All of this information had to pass from generation to generation. The multi-generational structure ensured that hard-won survival knowledge never died with a single individual. The transformation, when it came, was gradual rather than sudden. Sporadic evidence of possible fire use appears before 400,000 years ago, but these instances remain isolated and contested. What seems clear is that early hominins could occasionally use fire, perhaps maintaining flames from lightning strikes or volcanic activity, but could not reliably create it on demand. The threshold crossed around 300,000 to 400,000 years ago was not fire use, but fire mastery. From this point forward, archaeological sites throughout Europe show consistent, undeniable evidence of hearths, heated stones, burned bones, and ash deposits in locations where natural fires could not reach. Neanderthals had learned not just to maintain fire, but to create it, transport it, and control it with sophisticated understanding. The evidence of their fire mastery goes beyond simple warmth. At multiple sites, researchers have found remnants of birch bark pitch, a sticky adhesive used to attach stone points to wooden shafts, creating composite tools. The production of this pitch required remarkable skill, heating birch bark to temperatures between approximately 250 and 360 degrees Celsius under controlled conditions. This process demands understanding of temperature control that speaks to elevated cognitive abilities. Fire transformed Neanderthal existence. Caves could be genuinely warmed. Food could be cooked, making it safer, more digestible, and in the case of plant foods, releasing nutrients otherwise locked away. The radius of survivable territory expanded as groups could venture further from natural shelters, confident they could create warmth wherever they stopped. Yet fire mastery came late in the story, and the central mystery remains. How did Homo heidelbergensis and early Neanderthal populations survive for hundreds of thousands of years before this technological revolution? The answer appears to lie in the integration of every adaptation we have discussed. These were not populations deploying a single survival strategy, but rather orchestrating multiple complementary adaptations into a comprehensive system. Their stocky, cold-adapted bodies provided the biological foundation, reducing heat loss and generating warmth more efficiently than their ancestors. Their carnivore diet, rich in animal fat, provided the caloric fuel to maintain elevated metabolism and body heat through the darkest winters. Their sophisticated understanding of shelter selection and organization created thermally efficient living spaces that moderated the worst temperature extremes. Their clothing, fashioned from processed hides and furs, added crucial insulation layers. Their social structures ensured vulnerable individuals received care and critical knowledge passed between generations. What we know with certainty is that these populations pushed human adaptability to its absolute limits. They accomplished what should have been impossible, enduring in environments that should have killed them, without the one tool we consider essential for human survival. The fact that they not only survived but eventually developed sophisticated fire mastery suggests something profound about the human capacity for adaptation. The Neanderthals' story ultimately ended in extinction approximately 40,000 years ago, their disappearance coinciding with the arrival and expansion of anatomically modern humans across Europe. But their legacy endures, written in our very genes. Modern humans of non-African descent carry between 1 and 4% Neanderthal DNA, evidence of interbreeding between our species. Some of these inherited genetic sequences relate to cold adaptation, immune function, and other survival traits honed across hundreds of millennia in Ice Age Europe. The Neanderthal experience teaches us that human survival has never depended on a single miraculous adaptation or technology. Rather, it emerges from the integration of biological, cultural, technological, and social strategies into comprehensive systems that address multiple challenges simultaneously. Their hundreds of thousands of years without reliable fire control represent perhaps the most extreme survival challenge any human population has ever faced and overcome. Modern humans inherited a world transformed by fire, taking for granted a technology that early human populations learned to live without for an almost incomprehensible span of time. In our warm homes, with heat available at the touch of a thermostat, it is difficult to imagine the daily reality of Ice Age winters without flames' comfort. Yet our distant cousins did more than imagine it. They lived it, endured it, and ultimately triumphed over it, leaving us with questions that may never be fully answered, but will forever inspire wonder at the resilience of our extended human family. If you found this journey into our shared past fascinating, please like this video and subscribe to the Codex of History for more deep explorations of the mysteries that shaped humanity.